Well, good morning, and welcome to another edition of Literary Media Live with the icon Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey. Thank you for joining us as we get another week of shows all prepared for you right here. And we started early with a special edition this morning.
We did indeed.
We will follow up and tell you what that is about if you missed that show earlier today at 10 o'clock. But we've got a weekend recap to share with everyone and some stuff that's just around the corner.
And breaking news from the local baseball franchise here.
Chillicothe Paints. We'll discuss coming up. But first, what's the weather doing?
Well, it's not as windy as it was.
Amen to that.
I tell you what, it really got up there. They were saying 45 to 50 gusts, but I think they ended up tracking in Ross County as high as 55. There were some parts of southern Ohio that saw as much as 70-mile-an-hour winds. I think my wife was coming back from Mason, Ohio on Saturday, and there was a semi on its side on I-71 just on the western end of Fayette County. So nothing like that. We're talking cloudy, 58 today, cool overnight with a low 35, clouds and 50 for tomorrow, but a slight chance of rain.
Oops, looks like we disappeared as well. So.
Yeah. I talked longer than the weather map was on there.
Which happens a lot. Coming up in just a moment, we'll talk more about the stories that are making news for us today, as well as sports and this date in history. Not one, but two events.
You got one?
I got one.
Okay. I was
We'll
going to say,
coming up.
Did I miss something?
Well, it's something we talked about last week. I said I'll have to get some pictures together and share
okay.
with you. So I managed to get those pictures together, and we'll share with you coming up a little bit later on in the show. Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center, adult education. If you are looking for expanding your horizons in different areas, such as health technologies or skilled trades or public safety, PRCTC can take care of you on the adult education side. If you click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, it'll take you right to their website where you can learn yet even more. News next.
The estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. We thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
At Country Clipper, pride runs deep. We take pride in knowing our mowers help create a space for families to make memories. That our features transform mowing into an enjoyable experience. Most importantly, we take pride in knowing the decision to purchase a Country Clipper will be one you can be proud of for years to come. Country Clipper zero-turn mowers.
For a moment, that guy looked like Tom Wilson.
Yes, it
tipping
did.
his cap there.
It did. It did.
You can see that interview we did with Tom Wilson on our YouTube page and also here on our Facebook page as well under videos. News for the day. Where are we starting, Mike?
The second annual Bash for Vets. That's coming up down in Waverly this coming Saturday at the Waverly Moose Lodge, which is located at 303 West Emmett Avenue. They'll be donating money to the group LSS Faith Mission. A fellow that we talked to early this morning in a special edition by the name of Nick Smith. He's the guy that's putting all this together under the organization Will Battle.
And if you want to know more about Will Battle, you'll find them on their Facebook page right here. You can search Will Battle. Also, their email address is willbattle.org. And you said there was an interesting story about how they got their name, Will Battle.
Yeah, two fellows that Nick was in the Army with in Iraq. After they came home, they committed suicide. Unfortunately, that's a story that we hear so much with our veterans once they come home. Some of them just having a hard time coping with the PTSD and so forth. So one's name was Will, and the other fellow's last name started with Battle. It was not all Battle, but they shortened it to Battle to use that in honor of those two fellows that he was with.
So on their poster, if you take a look at this poster, you can bring your smartphone up and you can scan the QR code. The QR code on the right will take you to their Facebook page, or if you scan the one on the left, it takes you to their donation page, which they're doing what they can to raise money to help build homes for veterans.
Yeah, a great organization. But this event, this coming Saturday down at the Waverly Moose Lodge, again, that will run 4:30 in the afternoon until 11. There will be food, all kind of entertainment, raffles, and live music. A volunteer-driven sandhill crane survey to locate breeding birds in Ohio, seeking observers to help with the annual count, which will be coming up on April the 15th. That's a Saturday. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Wildlife is coordinating this project as part of the Midwest Crane Count with the International Crane Foundation and Ohio Bird Conservation Initiative.
And Laura Smith's going to be out there doing this.
Well,
right?
I thought she loves to look at these birds out on Canal Road, and Pickaway County is one of 29 counties included in this one-day count. If you'd like to volunteer, there is a link within our web story at littermedia.com where you can go and find out how you can volunteer for this one-day count. The Scioto Valley Area Service Committee Narcotics Anonymous Spring Fling will be held on April 15th, same day. That'll run from noon until 9 p.m. This is at 39 South Mulberry Street in Chillicothe. Some of you may be familiar with this location. It's a former church. It's located right behind Sack and Save store. And again, that event is from noon until 9.
So go out and count the cranes and then come back and go to the spring fling.
Yes, and you can see there's a lot of food at cost, a lot of fun, fellowship. As it says there, no addict turned away. It's a big family, and they're trying to help one another with support. The Lancaster Mens Chorus presents their 51st Ham and Eggs event. That's coming up, and they'll have pirates, plunder, or hidden treasures that can be found at the Ohio University Lancaster campus. Now, there's 3 days that this event's taking place, so it's not a breakfast. It's kind of like a lunch, dinner, something like that. May 11th and 12th, it's at 7:30 p.m., and on May the 13th, it will be at 3 p.m. They're listing it as $10 per mate. Arr.
That's because pirates don't get up for breakfast.
That's right. Pirate theme.
They have breakfast for dinner, doggone it.
Yes, sir.
So
enjoy that over in the Lancaster community.
all right, coming up, a look at sports, and that includes, as Mike mentioned, a new face on the field for the Chillicothe Paints and NCAA Final Four. I got to think nobody had the Final Four set this year.
No seed higher than 4.
Yeah.
Number 4, yeah.
And on the women's side, well, that's playing out. A couple of ones are already in, and we're going to see what's going to happen tonight. So details on all that just ahead in just a moment. I want to take a moment to tell you about McDonald's. I'm going to be out there tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Or
Tomorrow?
Wednesday or tomorrow?
Tuesday, you said.
Did I? Okay.
I'm your secretary.
Thank you.
I've got it a Tuesday on my calendar.
I got to make sure I take equipment home tonight. We're filming some new commercials for McDonald's. So not saying that you'll never see Kelly on our commercials anymore, but we have a couple of other subjects who will be participating with promoting McDonald's and what it's like to work for McDonald's.
I want to see her photobomb somebody else that's your video.
She could do that.
So she can get in there, too.
I could see her sneak in on one of those. So that is tomorrow. So if you see me with cameras at McDonald's out on Western Avenue, that's the reason why. But otherwise, if you're looking for work, this Wednesday is another open interview period with the managers of McDonald's in the 7 locations here in Circleville, in Greenfield, Waverly, and the 4 locations here in Chillicothe. McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
Coming up, we'll get you caught up to date with sports in just a moment. Stick close for that. And we want to tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. For 4 decades, they have been your trusted comfort advisor. If you click on this ad anywhere you come across it on our website, littermedia.com, It will take you right to their website to learn more about the services of Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
Thank you, Keegan Rathkamp, Hall of Famer at Chillicothe High School and Shawnee State University for his running exploits, but happy birthday to Dad. Bruce Rathkamp celebrating his 72nd birthday over the weekend.
I saw him in a local dining establishment at the noon hour the other day, and I said, I thought you'd be on a boat down in Kentucky somewhere. He said, no, not yet.
Not yet. We got to get through tax season first. All right, sports, and we've got a new face on the field.
Yeah, Paint's trying to keep that winning tradition after winning their second Prospect League title in 3 seasons and the third in club history. They're going to be bringing on Michael Boswell as their new field skipper for the 2023 season. He's currently a graduate assistant at Tiffin University, where he recently completed his collegiate playing career, spending time with former Paint standouts like Cody and Tim Orr. So, Michael, welcome as the new manager of the Chillicothe Paint. Mm-hmm. Now, this fellow's pretty young, so I wonder how that will work out if he's just finishing up his playing career in college.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the players will say, he's a player's manager.
That old guy.
Yeah.
He has no eligibility left.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Good luck again to the Paints.
Yes.
One of the area's most successful and respected high school boys basketball coaches has announced that he's resigning from coaching. Logan Elm's Doug Stuyvesant says he'll step away from the Braves coaching ranks after 24 seasons. While at Logan Elm, Doug compiled a win-loss record of 373 and 179, led the Braves to 7 Mid-State League championships, 5 district crowns, and took one team, which I remember this very well because we were broadcasting on the radio, Final Four in 2008-09 season.
And I remember the year before in which his team took Chillicothe nose-to-nose, toe-to-toe in the district championship game. And I remember Doug as a player as well at Logan, some of the Chillicothe-Logan matchups they used to have. Ironically, we named the Logan basketball coach last Friday, and today we're talking about Doug stepping down from Logan Elm.
Yeah, so. I was talking to some Logan Elm faithful yesterday, and they love this guy up there. He's you talk about an icon. He is that, and they will certainly miss him.
Super nice guy.
High school sports got underway over the weekend. I think.
Oh, sorry,
we're not going to talk about that. The Fairweather Relays, or.
We can. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Chillicothe Fairweather Relays was held Saturday at Chillicothe High School. Logan boys and girls were the champs. There's that Logan coming up again. Chillicothe girls, and Unioto boys were the runner-ups. NCAA Final Four, the table's been set for the guys, and, this was bracket buster time.
Yeah, this is Sunday's results in Miami. At 88-81, was it Jim Larinaga is the coach at Miami and doing a great job there. Creighton, 13 losses and an opportunity to go to the Final Four, but they lose by a point to San Diego State, who has never been to the Final Four.
Yeah, and one of the other teams that's going, Florida Atlantic, they said this morning that they had only been in the NCAA tournament one other time. So the second time they're going to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. And they'll play San Diego State.
Yeah, and 6:09 on Saturday, no fooling. And then Saturday night, right afterwards, Miami takes on the Yukon Huskies. And the Yukon Huskies were who Ohio State played. We'll get to that in just a moment on the women's side. But here are the women's matchups from yesterday. Iowa continues. They advance on into the Final Four. LSU does the same with a win over Miami. And for the games tonight to be played, Ohio State takes on Virginia Tech. Maryland will battle South Carolina. And it was a fun time when Ohio State picked up that win over UConn.
I think they said first time in 31 years that they've been the leader.
1993, yeah, Katie Smith era.
Smith, who ended up going to the Final Four. In fact, it was the national championship game that they lost, wasn't it? I can remember watching it.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. Cheryl Swoops.
Yes.
If she wasn't on the floor, Ohio State
was that Texas A&M or?
You're asking me too fast.
Yeah, I think it was Texas something. I can't remember whether it was University of or A&M, but yeah, Cheryl Swoops.
Congratulations to Coach McGuff and the girls on their way to this big matchup tonight. And the Cleveland Cavaliers clinching a playoff berth.
Yeah, they get a big win, and that guarantees them a trip to the postseason. 108-91 decision over Houston, which, ironically, is the site of the NCAA Final Four this coming weekend. So I'm certain the Rockets won't be playing at home this weekend.
Yeah.
You've been bumped out.
So Houston has the men's Final Four, and Dallas has the women's Final Four.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out in Texas. The high school stuff, you went through all that?
Except we didn't mention Chillicothe lacrosse. Maybe you didn't have an image on that.
I did not.
Their record's now 1-1. So a lot of times for the traditional spring sport fans of baseball, softball, and track, you don't think about lacrosse, but that's a new thing. Several years ago, they adopted that as a sport. So don't forget them too.
They went to West Virginia down in St. Albans and picked up a win down there. And it was triple overtime.
Wow.
Get more details on our Twitter page, and that's where you'll find a lot of the high school stuff that Mike is keeping us up to date on our Twitter, which we refer to as Letter Twitter.
Yeah, Logan Smith of Circleville High School pitched a one-hitter to shut out Chillicothe in their season opener 8-0, and Wheelersburg spanked whoever they played. It was like 14-1. All those games were out at VA Memorial Stadium on Saturday. Yeah. I got to thinking, with the wind gust over 50 miles an hour, I wonder what fly balls were doing.
Off of an aluminum bat?
Yeah, it's like wiffle ball time, yeah.
We're not even going to put the flag up on the flagpole because it's just it looked like the flag that you see in the pictures on the moon.
Yeah,
just all the way full staff. All right, coming up in just a moment, we'll get to look at this date in history. Scioto Valley Dumpsters can help you with cleanup if you've got a big chore that you've got going on where you need a dumpster to just throw everything in that dumpster. They'll bring it to you, and then they'll haul it all away for you, too. 740-253-8389 is their number. Tell them Dan and Mike sent you.
Hi, I'm Dave Pinkerton with Advanced Services Heating and Cooling, your local heating and cooling expert. If you want quality service, quality installation, give Advanced Services a call, 740-773-4499.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
This is Big Chillicothe. Horizon's 100% fiber internet service is coming to your area. Call 740-772-8331 or visit horizonconnects.com/Chillicothe to sign up today.
This date in history up next, as we always do with the program, our final segment. And we've got this date not really this date in radio history, but
just a memory.
Just a memory that we
You know, I forgot already what I was talking
I remember
about.
what it was.
Okay.
I remember what it was.
You'll have to remind me because I brought it up and I forgot it already.
Yeah.
That happens.
It's the
when you get
aging
old,
process,
you know.
yes. This date in history, we take us back to 1912.
Yeah, 1912 in Washington, D.C., Helen Taft, wife of Buckeye President William Taft, and the Viscountess Chinda, wife of the Japanese ambassador, plant 2 Yoshino cherry trees on the northern bank of the Potomac River near the Jefferson Memorial. The event was held in celebration of a gift by the Japanese government of 3,020 cherry trees to the U.S. government. I've been to Washington a number of times, but one year we did get there in the spring in time to see these in bloom, and it is absolutely beautiful.
How are your allergies?
You know, back then I wasn't having problems with that.
Gotcha.
It's just now that I'm much older that I'm having trouble with that. So that all came about on this date back in 1912.
This date in 2019, at Adena Regional, that is Dan Jr. with a catcher's mitt, and that is Brandy, and they are about to have a little one come into the world. And then that little one does come into the world, and there she is. My little baby granddaughter, who is now 4 years old. We know her as Baby Amelia. Those who follow me on Facebook, they stop me on the street, and they say, that granddaughter is so adorable.
We're going to have to start.
How do I argue with that?
You're going to have to get her autograph emblazoned on these pictures because she's a celebrity now. So she's got to have her autograph on there.
Yeah, I started posting pictures of her when she was born, and watching her progress and her progression along the way. And so I dubbed it Baby Amelia's World because of all the things that she was learning and everything. So she has a nice following now. So thanks to those who follow her. And she's getting no endorsement money, but she gets plenty of mint chocolate ice cream. She likes that.
I can see this playing out. One of these days she's going to sue you for royalties that you kept from her all this time.
Who knows? If I keep doing this long enough, maybe she'll help take Mike Smith's place one day.
Any time, Amelia, you're welcome to jump in.
I had her up here one day recently. I had to come up and do something with a piece of equipment. It was a day off, and I came in, and I had her with me, and walked in, and I said, well, here, you can play with the computer. And she had the mouse and the keyboard, and I was lying on the floor because I had to get down underneath with some wiring. And I got a view of her. She's looking up at the screen, and she's got that mouse just going as if she knows what she's doing. So
she's ready to go.
Yeah, kids today, they're far more advanced than we were when we were kids.
When it comes to computers, that's for certain.
Now, our radio moment takes us back to our days of, and we're not political on this show, but we were deemed political from our radio, and that's because of our relationship with Rush Limbaugh and the conservative side of everything that was being portrayed in the shows that happened after our show. Perhaps the most liberal person we had on the air was Dr. Dean Adele when I first started. But there was one person who was a listener, and I never could figure it out if they were just messing with us or if they were the real deal.
Yeah.
But we used to get electronic mail sent to us. You liberal media, I can't give some of the words that we were described as, but it came from somebody in New Holland.
Yeah. And how they got that you and I were liberal in light of the things that we talked about, I'll never know. But it kind of reminded me of a story that Sam Donaldson told when I was in Florida for a business meeting at of all places, Disney World. And he was talking about this couple that would complain. They would write him a letter every week. Oh, Donaldson, you did it again. You. And then he said one day they stopped writing. And he said, then I got worried that maybe they weren't watching anymore. He said, I didn't care that they complained. I just want them watching. So,
well, there was, a 3-year period straight where this person continued to hound us with these emails. And like I say, I don't know. Maybe we just never caught on and it was a joke. I don't know.
Could have been.
But at any rate, we remember you, whoever you were.
From New Holland.
Our listener in New Holland. And I was surprised that WBEX would even reach New Holland.
Well, yeah. I guess on a windy day, the wind blew the signal that way. Yeah. I know some people who lived in the New Holland area.
Yeah.
And I can think of one person in particular that would probably, but I would think they would have been complaining about us being too conservative, so maybe it wasn't them. So. Yeah. But it was funny. Yeah.
I just happened to notice on our screen an email just came in. I wonder if maybe
New Holland. I'm back.
I found you, baby. I'm coming for you. Well, that's it for the show today. As for right now, we don't have a whole lot of things on the special side of our presentations this week, but we will have some things that we'll share with you. Coming up this Wednesday is the Special Olympics basketball contest, the big celebrity game taking place up at OU Chillicothe, and I'll be there for that, and we'll probably take some video of that to share with you as well. So, and maybe we can squeeze something in beforehand. We get somebody in to talk about it.
You do have a special edition on Thursday, and that is Stacy Boroff and Bob Leach.
Correct. And what are we talking about?
It's not a funny matter, but the way that the Camp Lejeune commercials keep running on commercial, it's like you know it verbatim, but they're going to talk about what this really means. The commercials never go into a whole lot of detail, but that's what they're here to help our veterans know.
But those commercials are like 3 and 5 minutes long, so there's a lot of detail.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like a blur, but they're coming in to tell our veterans if they were affected by that, what this means for you. So
yeah. I know, having not been to Camp Lejeune, I know that when those commercials come on, I got 3 to 5 minutes to myself now. I can go do something else because no, I've never had the water at Camp Lejeune. So, but it is a serious matter.
Yes,
so
that's right.
We will treat it with serious hands as well. All right, that's it for the program today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy birthday, Amelia. We will talk to you all on the next edition of Litter Media Live.